This is Jim from Absolute Control Irrigation Specialists. I want to welcome you to our channel, another episode of Tips from the Swamp. In this video, I'm going to be going over the variables that are differences between the PAR+ES series controllers and the MSC+ controller or faceplate, which offers more information and troubleshooting diagnostics at the face panel than the PAR+ or PAR+ES. On the table here in front of us, we have a PAR+ES here. This is a PAR+, and in the middle, which is fired up, is the MSC+, which we'll go through that and show you where the enhancements are that make it a useful control unit. Okay, first thing we'll notice is it has a much larger display area. You also have a series of light LEDs up here to tell you what station is on, and has several different functions in the keys down here. The station's runtime, start days, water budget, and cycle start and copy store, paste store. Those are similar functions to the PAR+, PAR+ES. When we get to the other control side, things start to vary. Over here, you have a schedule monitor which will tell you what stations are on. You have a manual function so you can turn on based on whatever you have programmed. But right now, I'm going to show you how a single station can be turned on by hitting single station. Coming up here and hitting Start Advance. And you'll notice that it says Station 1 active, and the light for Station 1 is turned on, telling us that that station is now active. If we notice that there's action going on that requires us to stop that watering temporarily, we can hit the pause resume button. You'll notice this goes into a waiting mode. The light is flashing, telling us that it's turned off. Whatever activity went by, you need to turn it back on. Hit the pause resume button, and it comes back, and it will finish up the amount of time you have run it for. If you need to turn it off, hit the cancel clear. The setting clock button is so you can set the correct time on it. You also have a runtime log, which tells you the station number and how long it's been run. That Station 1 has run a total of 4 minutes 40 seconds before until the next time it's cleared. Number 2 is telling us ran that station for 2 seconds. You'll notice that none of the other lights are on. If I go to 3, it's basically saying it was not run. Okay, so we'll clear that. Now, if I go to the Special Effects button, the first thing that comes up is Overcurrent Log. If there was something to report there, it would tell you if and when there was a point that this clock recognized that there was more current being drawn through the clock, which would indicate some form of a short in the field, then it's capable of handling, and it basically would shut off anything so it wouldn't damage itself. The next thing is the passkey function. There are 2 of them. One of them is 627, which allows you to go in and do a memory wipe, or you can put in passkey 528, and that allows you to go in and change your satellite ID number and some of the other functions that I'll be showing you. If we continue to press this button, we'll see it wants to know how many valves are on each station, the channel number, the language, the station location, which is something unique to the MSC+, because you can put in where each station is located. And that's done after you've entered a pass lock. It'll also test the relay boards, which will tell you if it has an incompatible OSM or output board. It'll tell you if it sees any kind of a failure or misses one. The self-test basically allows you to go through a series of checking the buttons on the face panel. The overcurrent control is how you can turn it off if you want, or you can leave it on. And again, the overcurrent is clock telling you that it's seeing more than what it should, and it'll protect itself. Okay, the log clear time is basically going to tell you the maximum number of minutes that have been run on this face panel. And when you go to clear it, it goes back to 0 and restarts itself. Again, that's unique to the MSC+. You can also go in and change the time of day when it changes and makes the day change. Instead of being at midnight, you may want it to occur at 6 a.m. in the morning. It also will tell you if there's been a power failure and it's restarted itself. Or if it's a power failure and has not restarted itself. But it'll tell you that it had a power failure. You may want to check all of your settings. Revision information, like the PAR and PAR+ES, it's telling you the main chip in the faceplate, the revision of the chip in the communication board, and the TY1 is telling you it's a 2-wire system. If you have any sensors that are on in the system, you can turn them on here or turn them off. It also allows you to turn off a master valve, or in some cases it may be used to shut off a pumping system because you may not want as much pressure in a particular zone because of the type of equipment on that zone. This is the maximum number of stations that the clock will allow itself to run. That can be changed so you can limit it so that you're not drawing as much current through the clock. And then we're back to the overcurrent log. If I go to pass lock and I put in 538, I now can go down, hit system function, and I can change the number of valves per station, increase or decrease. I can change the satellite ID number here. Choose a language. I'm going to leave it in English. I can change the designation of the station, such as station 1. Instead of being off green number 1, I'm going to turn it on green number 1. So we know it's green number 1. Then we have relay board test. This is a push to start self-test where you go through and test the different key buttons. This is where you can turn the overcurrent control on and off. The overcurrent is when it sees too much current being drawn, it goes into an overcurrent mode and protects itself. This is where you would clear the runtime log. This is where you would make the change of time for a new day. In other words, you may want to set it to 6 a.m. This will tell you that there's been an electrical power failure in the electronics mode, and tells you might want to restart the clock and make sure all the settings are correct. From there we go to revisions, which is just reading the program chips in the unit. This is turning off the sensors or letting the satellite read sensors. This is where you reset again the master valves, and then you can also change the limit, the number of valves that will run. Okay, now we go back and we're seeing that it sees it as an 8 station, and we're now ready to operate. There's a lot more information available in this face panel than there is in the PAR+ or PAR+ES. The other thing to remember is each of these units has a unique power interconnect. That's the device that they get their power from, that they interconnect all the other components in the clock. And with an MSC+, you must use an MSC+ power interconnect. If you use a PAR+ or PAR+ES power interconnect and you plug it in, the MSC+ will tell you hardware failure because it's not seeing the correct electronics to support all of its diagnostics. The PAR+ES over here needs its own style of power interconnect. The unique one in this is the PAR+. The older unit has a PAR+ power interconnect. The PAR+ can be used with any 3 of these power interconnects. However, if you use a PAR+ES and put it into an original style PAR+ power interconnect, it will tell you that it's a PAR+ES 56, which immediately tells you that the power interconnect is wrong and you need to correct that. I hope you've enjoyed this video and that it was helpful. Give it a thumbs up if you liked it. Please subscribe to our channel so you do not miss any new videos. We also appreciate your comments and suggestions. Remember, we will provide you a shipping label and we promise a quick turnaround time on all repairs you choose to send to us. Visit us on our website, www.absolute-control.com. Thank you from Grader, with tips from the swamp at Absolute Control Irrigation Specialist.